What's going on with y'all? What's going on? It's your boy Seattle Rick 206, aka that boy Rick, aka they call him Slick, aka Hype Man Rick 206, aka 2D Hydroplane Game Rick, aka Rooster Tail Rick 206. Y'all please like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. We here to take you for another ride. Appreciate y'all, man. We getting straight to business. Hope you guys like the footage. Hopefully you guys like the footage, but we about to get straight to business. I appreciate y'all. We are running the 2023. The boats that you see here, we are running these boats. So see you guys in a second.
It's about time we make the statement we always make when we get to a boat race. It is time for Heat 1A, this time sponsored by American Dumpster. Jeff, you cannot win the Southern Cup in the first heat of the weekend, but you can certainly lose it. Be careful, finish, and score points.
This is the building block. This is the heat. You want to score. You want to score well. You don't want to come out of this heat with the goose egg, which is the zero. This is your building block to get points in the first section, second section, third section, to be on the front row of the Southern Cup Championship tomorrow at 5:30 Central Daylight Time here in Guntersville.
3:25 until the start. 3:25. Dustin Eccles cutting across the race course from the back stretch to the front stretch on the GP course. That is a legal maneuver. Jeff, let's talk a little bit about our start procedure here. It's been basically the same as it's been for our previous two classes. It's a clock start. Put your boat on the start-finish line when the clock strikes 0. Do not jump that start. You will be penalized and you will not win. But there's an added factor to this whole thing. You cannot drop your boat below 80 miles per hour. So when we get a winner in this heat, the boats have to go through tech inspection, and that's where they pick up that 80-mile-an-hour violation should it happen. So you can't just go up to the top end of the race course and park your boat at 10 miles an hour. You must stay above 80 miles per hour. The drivers have indication in the cockpit. They also have the radio guys in their ears explaining this to them. 2 minutes and 28 seconds to the start. This is what we call the milling period. Got a couple boats at the top end of the race course, one on the backstretch, and Dylan Runny at the bottom end.
Runny at the bottom end, as Brad mentioned. The Turbinator with Jimmy King just past the halfway mark on the back chute. 2 boats up in turn number 2, the Tennessee Orange Bucket List Racing of Dustin Eccles and the Dominant Red Beacon Electric with J. Michael Kelly. We are coming up on 2 minutes. 2 minutes until American Dumpster H1 Unlimited Heat 1A. Brad Luce, the season is about to begin for H1. I like the lineup. Let's get this party started.
Let's get it started. Remember, Dylan Runny, the third boat coming down the front straightaway here, he has to start behind the field and on the outside. You see him moving to the outside. Jeff, these guys are awfully early to get down to the bottom end of the race course here at $1:30, which we are at now. So it's 1:30. This is where the 80 miles per hour comes into play. If you're down there too early and have to slow down, you run the risk of breaking that 80 mile per hour barrier, and that can cost you dearly. But they'll come up the backstretch. It is Dustin Eccles leading the field up there. Got 3 boats behind him. Jeff, bring them up to the top end of the course.
Coming up on the 1 minute period for American Dumpster Unlimited 1A. 3, 2, 1, mark. 1 minute period in session. H1 Unlimited Heat 1A. Our heat sponsor, American Dumpster, leading the field up. Looks like you'll get lane number 1, Dustin Eccles and Bucket List Racing. J. Michael Kelly coming into the 2 lane in the Beacon Electric. Jimmy King in the Turbinator. Griggs Ace Hardware in 3. Dylan Runny to the outside in 4 in Miss Home Street. We are approaching 30 seconds. Brad Luce, let's start this Southern Cup. Bring him to the green flag.
Thank you very much, Jeff. It looks like J. Michael Kelly's going to claim lane number 1. I think Dustin Eccles is going to go in 2. I think the Turbinator's going to go in 3. And then on the far outside and behind, as he is supposed to, is going to be Dylan Runny. But as we saw, the boats were down there too early. And Dustin Eccles is crawling up to the start-finish line here in the 40. We're inside 10 seconds until our start. We are on 5 seconds. We are 4, 3, 2, 1, mark, and we are racing in Heat 1A, presented by American Dumpster. I think we've got the 40 Bucket List Racing definitely across the start-finish line early, but until we get it legal, we will call them as they are on the water. Eccles is going to get out of the corner first. Check that. It is J. Michael Kelly on the inside. He's got a lot of boats with him. He's got the Turbinator. You can hear him on the outside. There is Eccles. He pulls up alongside J. Michael Kelly and now moves out by about a boat length, maybe a boat length and a half. He may have jumped, Jeff, but man, he's moving.
Start is under review. Eccles in front. He could be the culprit. Eccles in front. Kelly is there. The Turbinator in third into turn number 2. Exciting dueling to begin the day, but is Eccles legal?
We'll call them as they are on the water until we hear it officially. Kelly with the inside lane position. Look at him right on the buoy row. Now it's Eccles on the outside. Whether he jumped or not, 2 of the fastest race boats in the world are tied together as they come across start finish line. Jeff, I think you've got an update.
We got a 1-lap penalty on your physical leader, Dustin Eccles, in the Bucket List Racing. The Tennessee Orange down a lap for a gun jump. So your leader is the Dominant Red boat in turn number 1, J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. That moves the Turbinator, the turbocharged Allison up to second. Griggs Ace Hardware, Miss Home Street in third. Eccles physically in front, but in fourth.
Yeah, he's in fourth place, so your leader is J. Michael Kelly, the red boat up the backstretch. That is the Beacon Electric. And if we have that information, so does J. Michael Kelly. That's why you see him letting the orange boat go. Let him go. That's not who he's racing against. However, in his right side rearview mirror, as Jeff calls him, the Turbinator, the U3, the Griggs Ace Hardware, he is trying to make a move. Coming up on the outside of J. Michael Kelly. Dustin Eccles will come down. He will be our leader on the water, but he is actually running it forward. But Jimmy King is making a move, Jeff.
Brad, with Eccles getting that one-lap penalty, he has come toward the inside, and Kelly's had to go outside his wake. Your official leader, here comes the turbocharged Allison, charging on the outside. This one is not over. American Dumpster, Unlimited 1A. It's the two dominant red boats. Kelly, your leader. Brad, the Turbinator, is right there.
Yeah, he's right there. The race is for second place, except that is a race for first place. The two red boats, Kelly on the inside, King on the outside. You can't see King driving a 3, the Griggs Ace Hardware, but he's right with him. This one is going to be close. It's going to be a charge to the finish line. Kelly with the lane position, but it is Jimmy King on the outside with an awful lot of boat speed. He's going to pack as much as he can into this corner. Now you see Dustin Eccles go way wide and give our leaders room to come down and race this out. There is Kelly, there is King. I think J. Michael Kelly will be able to hold him off. Dustin Eccles comes across, but on his inside, our winner of Heat 1A on the water, J. Michael Kelly, driving the Beacon Electric. Second place to Jimmy King in the Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. Holy smoke. Our third place boat will be the rookie, Dylan Runny, driving the Miss Home Street. And I can only think, Jeff Ayler, Dustin Eccles is just kicking himself in that cockpit. We said, don't make a mistake, get your points in that first heat. He made a mistake.
We talked about it yesterday. We talked about it this morning. The first heat of the weekend, that's your building block, your top qualifier, the first error of racing activity this weekend. Dustin Eccles running that extra lap, and he does have to finish to get those 169 points. Great run by J. Michael Kelly, but Brad the Turbinator, Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware, the World War II Allison aircraft engine, looked great with that turbocharger running in second.
That's fun. Gas them up. Let's do it again. That was an awful lot of fun. Here comes Dustin Eccles. He's disappointed, but he comes across still very important. He comes across, he finishes, he will pick up his 169 points. They all build, as you said, with the building blocks toward making it into the final. The two boats who make out like a bandit because of Dustin Eccles' air, the U3, the Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware with Jimmy King. They pick up second place points. That's 300. And how about Dylan Runny? Has to start behind the field, so he's handicapped to begin with, but because of the matters out front, he picks up a third place and 225 points. We are inside 5 minutes now. We've got 3 boats set to answer the call here, and we've got 1, 2, 3 Rooster Tails headed our way. The fans might be thinking, Jeff, wait a minute, there's 8 boats in the pit area. We ran 4 in the first one. Where's our 4th boat in this one? Brent Hall in the 440 has not yet qualified as a driver, so he is not eligible yet to come out and run with these guys. But we've got 3 on the water. It's going to be the U11, the Legend Yacht Transport. Legend Yacht Transport driven by Jamie Nielsen. He will come across the start-finish line, boat running very, very good this weekend. He's going to be joined on the race course by the U9, Beacon Plumbing with Corey Peabody. Here comes Corey, that white boat, Corey Peabody. He's going to be quick in this one, but don't ever count out Andrew Tate. Jeff, before you make a comment, want to just remind our fans, please stay out of the water when our H1 hydroplanes and all hydroplanes are on the water and racing. So we need you out of the water right now. Parents, help us out just a little bit there if your kids are in there enjoying some cool water. Jeff, 3 minutes and 50 seconds to the start. We got a 3-boat heat, but it should be a good one.
I'm sure these drivers watched the warm-up period back in American Dumpster Unlimited Heat 1A. Dustin Eccles, our top qualifier, was a gun jumper, received a 1-lap penalty, 4th place finish. Brad, these 3 drivers right now with the 3-boat heat, you definitely don't want to jump the gun, but you want to maintain your boat, run a clean race, score where you can, but the main thing is to stay clean, don't get in trouble.
Yeah, and here's some of that start procedure right now. You're watching Jamie Nielsen come down the front straightaway very, very slowly here, and we saw some of the drivers have an issue with the 80-mile-an-hour rule and being a little bit too early on their start procedure in our Heat 1A earlier today, and it cost, unfortunately, our U40 bucket list racing and Dustin Eccles. It cost him a potential first-place finish in his heat. But right now, it is Heat 1B presented by American Dumpster. We're 2 minutes and 50 seconds away from the start. Jamie Nielsen right now is sitting on an inside lane. Where is Andrew? Oh, Andrew's halfway up the backstretch. He's been going very slowly ever since he came out. All a part of his start procedure, Jeff.
I think Andrew Tate right now, probably Brad, could be a little bit off. We'll see if he cuts through that infield there. That is a legal maneuver at that part of the race course. But no, he will go on up to turn number 2. Now, Nielsen and Peabody are both keen on one another as we now are 2 minutes and 15 seconds until the start. Brad, the past 2 seasons, Jamie Nielsen in the Royal Blue Chartreuse boat has a knack at getting lane number 1. Can he do it here in American Dumpster 1B?
Well, right now where Andrew Tate sets, you know I have this unofficial timing mark that, yeah, you don't really want to be at the start-finish line in 2 minutes. Well, it's 1:55 right now, and Andrew is right here at the line. He's actually not there yet, and he's going to get there about 1:48. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. You mentioned Jamie Nielsen and Corey Peabody were playing kind of a game up the backstretch. Well, Corey said he'd had enough of that game. He gave it a little squirt. He moved away from Jamie Nielsen. 1:30 until the start, Jeff Ayler.
With that maneuver now, Nielsen is toward the back of the pack, and all 3 H1 Unlimited hydroplanes will have to go through turn number 1, get their lane assigned on the back straightaway. In the race before the race, we now are 1 minute and 15 seconds until the start. Tate is the first one off the corner. Will he have the best shot at lane number 1? Peabody's tracking him. Brad still lots to decide. We're coming up on 1 minute. 3.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome.
Mark. 1 minute.
Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's go. Let's get it.
It is Andrew Tate in the 91, the Goodman Real Estate. He is sitting on lane number 1. It is Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing, the white U9. That's the second boat going up the backstretch. He is in lane number 2. Jamie Nielsen will be on the outside in the Legend Yacht Transport. Inside 40 seconds to the start. Jeff Ayler, set the lanes. Get him through that upper corner for me, please.
Coming up on the 30-second mark, Andrew Tate will be in lane number 1. Goodman Real Estate, gold and white craft. White boat with the blue lettering. Beacon Plumbing with Corey Peabody. And back of the pack is Nielsen. Now is Nielsen sneaking into 1? Brad, bring him into the line for American Dumpster 1B.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on Nielsen. No, he's going to go to the outside, but he may be the one boat with a lot of boat speed. The others are up there a little bit early. Nielsen was behind the field, but he's got a lot of boat speed on the outside. Inside 5 seconds for 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, and boy, I like that start. It looked good from here, but Jamie Nielsen nailed it in the U11 Legend Yacht Transport, but all 3 of them were tied together as they go down to the lower corner. On the inside, it's Andrew Tate with the lead, the U91 Goodman Real Estate, but it looks like one boat down there, but it is 3, and there's Corey. Corey on the outside by a boat length. Tate and Corey Peabody, Jeff, they are really duking it out.
The start was good. Now Peabody extends his lead by a boat length and a half, but Tate has the advantage to the inside. Shorter way around. Peabody gets there first. Here comes Tate, and they are now side by side at the apex of turn 2.
Coming off the top end of the race course. Remember, fans, we go 3 times around. Watch the corner for Andrew Tate, right on the buoy row, a beauty. But Corey gave him enough room and was able to keep the speed up. This boat's been fast yesterday and today. That boat being the U9, Beacon Plumbing with Corey Peabody, your defending Lake Guntersville champion, running like a rocket. Got a lot of speed off to his left and a lot of good driving skill in there too with Andrew Tate. Andrew's not going to give up on this yet. Look at that. Lane position pulled him up to about 3 boat lengths. This is a good one. We are just about halfway through this heat. Corey Peabody's opened up about a 4 boat length lead, but I'll tell you what, in that left side rear view mirror, Jeff Ayler, Andrew Tate does not want to go away.
Right now, Peabody extending the lead in American Dumpster Unlimited 1B here at the Guntersville Lake Hydro Fest. Make it a 10 boat length advantage. Peabody in front, leaving Tate a lane in there in lane number 1. Nielsen remains in third and Legend Yacht Transport, but Brad Tate's got it down now to 8 boat lengths. Corey tighten it up on the pins on the outside.
Yes, Corey really did tighten it up there. He's going to make it as difficult as he can legally on Andrew Tate. And now they come down to pick up the white flag with 1 to go here in our Heat 1B presented by American Dumpster. It is Corey Peabody and Andrew Tate slamming into the lower end of the race course. Tate gobbles it back up again, back by about 6, maybe 7 boat lengths. This is the checkered flag lap. Off the exit pin of the corner, Corey Peabody running a beautiful race in that Beacon Plumbing. He's opened up almost a full rooster tail, but Tate's still knocking on the door, Jeff.
The key for Peabody right now. Comfortable lead. Don't make a mistake in turn number 2. Run his craft clean away from the pins. We go above in turn number 2 with our drone. Peabody driving clean. Tate running out of time. Brad, bring him to the checkered flag and American Dumpster 1B.
It is on the outside. Corey Peabody driving the U9, the Beacon Plumbing for Daryl and Vanessa Strong. Checkered flag flies. Corey Peabody picking up a heat victory. In our Heat 1B presented by American Dumpster, it is Andrew Tate coming home in second place driving the Goodman Real Estate, and a very strong and good run for the U11 Legend Yacht Transport. Jeff Ayler, the last time we saw Corey Peabody in that
1B, the 5-minute period is come and gone. Let's get this started.
Let's get this party started. It is day 3 of 3. The green flag is on the race course. Our 4 boats are at the top end. J. Michael Kelly comes into our Heat 2A presented by the Guntersville Waterboard with 450 points. The boat is extremely quick. What we've noticed about J. Michael Kelly's bright red boat is how smooth it is on the water. He's followed by teammate Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing. Beacon Electric is the red one. Beacon Plumbing is the white one. And here's your top qualifier. Bucket List Racing with Dustin Eccles had that 171 mile per hour lap.
We're going to be driving the Beacon Electric. J. Michael Kelly.
Tooling around the top end of the race course. Tate's got a place he wants to be on this race course at a certain time, and he'll find a way to get there.
Boy, right now, Brad, at that 4-minute mark, I think he'll have to come down to turn number 1. Obviously, go down the back straightaway. Will he elect to cut in where J. Michael Kelly is, or will he go back to turn 2?
Well, we'll see. He's got to go all the way down now. And Kelly and Peabody both cut the race course. That's a legal maneuver. Now, to our new race fans here, Jeff Ayler, if you haven't seen this before, everything is done on a clock start. We are at the start-finish line. We're 3 minutes and 30 seconds until the start. The idea is to put your boat on the starting line at
3 minutes, 28 seconds. 3 minutes, 28 seconds left to the race starts.
Jump the start and are across the line before the clock strikes 0. You run an extra lap. You're not going to win.
Oh, I didn't even write down what I was. I think. Didn't I finish first that last race? Yeah. Everybody else jumped the gun. I finished first.
Brad, I spoke to an H1 Unlimited pilot this morning. I won't name who it was because I don't want to give away their secrets, but I'll give it away anyway. 22-second mark, the entrance pin of turn number 2 on the back chute. They're looking at about that 10-second mark off the exit pin of turn number 2, the start-finish line. If you jump the gun in H1 Unlimited hydroplane racing, that is a 1-lap penalty. That takes you away from the checkered flag and those precious points up toward the top.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting now because as the boats come out of the pit area, their lane is not assigned to them. They fight for lanes, and at 2:30 before the start, they're going to have to go all the way up to the top end, which means they're going to go all the way around the race course. Andrew Tate has parked himself right now in lane 1. Could that change? Yes, it could. Honestly, Jeff, I'm not sure it's going to. I think they've got to go all the way around, and Tate's just going to hang in lane 1 if he wants it. Right now, Kelly's in 2, Peabody's in 3. That's going to put our top qualifier on the far outside. And remember, Dustin Eccles needs some points. He jumped his start in the first heat, and although he was the first boat across the finish line, he was relegated to 4th place with the 1-lap penalty. So here comes Tate down across start-finish line inside of 2 minutes. Tate's in 1, Kelly's in 2, Peabody in 3. Eccles is going to come down behind everybody.
Right now, Brad, by the alignment, I like where Eccles is, but the problem where he is, he's on the outside.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about Andrew. You know my unofficial timing marks. I always say,
Yeah, I think Andrew Tate, no doubt early. It looks like he will cruise around the course. You have to be above 80 miles per hour in the warm-up period prior to the start. So Andrew Tate in turn number 1.
Hope everybody's good, man. I hope everybody's good. Please like, share, and subscribe, man. Like, share, and subscribe.
In the Beacon Plumbing. Then Corey Peabody back behind Kelly in the Beacon Plumbing. Now here comes Dustin Eccles up on
I'm also gonna share my
in the Tennessee
my
Orange
Discord
Bucket List Racing.
inside.
Now coming up on 55 seconds until the start. Brad, by my view, I think Tate's early. Eccles could be the best of all, but he is on the outside.
He is on the outside. He's just on the outside of Corey Peabody. 45 seconds until the start. The white flag is up. We're going to go 3 times around. There's 400 points laying on the
Actually, I'll do it after this race.
Points, as we like to say in these preliminary heats, to find your way into the final. Tate's going to take him up to the top end of the race course with 30 seconds until the start. Followed in lane number 2 by J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. Then it is his teammate Corey Peabody. He's in lane 3. Eccles is going to be on the outside. You see Dustin starting to wind it up on the outside. You said 12 seconds off the exit pin. Let's take a look. We are 12 seconds right now. It's going to be getting pretty close to time to put the foot down. You see Tate can't get into it yet. The others can, but now Andrew does. We are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 mark. Boy, from my view, it looks like it's a legal start, but we'll get it from the official. Andrew Tate on the inside was the first boat across the line. He broke the clock and will get down to turn number 1 first, and he's got the lead as he goes through the lower corner. Andrew Tate, but boy, has he got company. He's got Kelly, he's got Peabody, and he's got Eccles. But off the corner, it is Andrew Tate. And then look on the outside. It is a legal start. It's a legal start, Jeff. Look at Corey Peabody on the outside, too.
Tate made a dynamite start. Lane number 1 leads it in turn number 2. Corey Peabody is hauling the mail in second in Beacon Plumbing. Back in third, we got side-by-side action between Kelly and Eccles, but off the corner, it'll be Tate in front, but Peabody charging hard in second.
Tight off the buoy row is Andrew Tate. He'll come down and put one of the books, but his right side rear view mirror is full of Corey Peabody. Peabody's closed the distance. He's back by about 3 boat lengths as they finish lap number 1 and go down to the lower end of the race course.
Let's go.
Number 2 of 3. Tate on the inside with the lead, but he's got Corey right with him. Peabody back about 3 boat lengths. They're going to come off the corner very close, Jeff. Peabody's making a charge.
Excellent dueling here in Guntersville Waterboard Unlimited. Heat 2A, we see Tate, Peabody hidden in the rooster tail on the back straightaway. Your race is for first in 2A. Tate maintains that lead. They enter turn number 2. Peabody is there. Tate is there. Now they are
Let's go.
side by side in turn number 2 at the apex.
You know I love to say this, Jeff, but this is as good as it gets in H1 Unlimited Racing. You've hooked up 2 boats side by side. There's Tate. There's Peabody. They're going to come down and pick up a white flag with 1 to go, and they're virtually going to be dead even. Corey Peabody and Andrew Tate. Tate by a boat length at the end of 2. Third place is going to go to Dustin Eccles. In the Bucket List Racing, J. Michael Kelly trails in 4th. Down to the lower end of the race course. This is the final lap. You've got to get the checkered flag this time for those 400 points. Looks like 1 boat coming off the corner. There are 2 of them right there. Looking for Corey, and there he is. Sticks his nose out about a boat length, Jeff.
Beautiful dueling here in Guntersville Waterboard Unlimited 2A. Peabody and
That was good.
Tate flies the Goodman Real Estate. The battle is up in the front. Tate has the advantage on the inside, shorter way around. They are side by side again at the apex. Final turn, final lap of 2A.
Here's 400 points laying right here at the finish line. Has Peabody got enough? Has Tate got acceleration? They're going to come down and pick up the checkers, and it's going to be Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing. He will come home first. Andrew Tate, Goodman Real Estate, will come home in 2nd place. Bucket List Racing with Dustin Eccles in 3rd, and J. Michael Kelly will come home in 4th place. Now that's a good way to start the day, Mr. Ayler.
Brad Luce, great duel.
Blue trimmed with red. This one's really pretty. I like this one, Jeff Ayler, and the colorblind guy doesn't have any problem seeing this one. Jamie Nielsen for this one, as you mentioned earlier, has yet to win an unlimited race. His owner, Scott and Shannon Rainey, have not either as owners. Scott Rainey has won many a boat race as a crew chief. He knows his way around an unlimited This is a different boat than they ran a year ago. But the boat's really responded. It's running very, very well. They could be a real player in this heat. They're going to be joined by the powder blue and white that you won the Miss Home Street. It is at the top end of the race course. And I hear something, Jeff. I hear a rumble up in the backstretch. It's bright red. It is turbo, Allison powered. It is the Griggs Ace Hardware Jimmy King. Dylan Runny, the rookie, comes off the top end in the Miss Home Street. Jimmy King behind him in the piston-powered boat. We could have all kinds of conversations on this one.
I think it's going to be really interesting. Obviously, Nielsen and King will be battling for lane number 1. Runny will be to the outside and back. How far will he be back? How good a start will King or Nielsen make in lanes 1 or 2? Their objective, get to the line, don't jump the gun. You're either going to get 400 or 300. If they get 225, they'll take it. But right now, Nielsen and King in a good spot to get either 400 or 300 points here in Guntersville Waterboard Unlimited 2B. But could Runny come from the back and spoil on the outside? He does have the equipment to do it.
He definitely has the equipment to do it. One of the big questions is going to be, does he have enough time? He's only got 3 laps to do it. That's a pretty short period of time. It's a sprint. Come final heat time, there'll be 5 laps, but we're 3 in the prelims and across the start-finish line at 2:45. Dylan Runny, driving our defending national high points champion that won the Miss Home Street, owned by Miss Madison Incorporated and Madison, Indiana. 2:35 to the start, Jeff.
And Brad, different sequences here for all 3 drivers. King off turn number 2, Nielsen past the halfway mark up the back chute, Runny in turn number 1, so lots of separation here in the warm-up period. We're 2 minutes and 20 seconds until the start, and Brad, in about 1 minute, we expect these 3 to bunch up. Who will get lane 1? Who will get lane 2? We know Runny will be back on the outside. The factor in this one in the equation is King or Nielsen, who will be in lane 1.
Boy, under different circumstances, if Runny was not a rookie, we might see him cut the race course right here, but he's not going to, I don't think. He may just from it. Now he's going to go all the way up. But Nielsen, I think you've got to like where Jamie Nielsen is sitting right now at 145. He is coming down the front straightaway. Again, the other piece to that start procedure that gets picked up in tech inspection is the 80-mile-per-hour rule. They have to maintain a minimum speed of 80 miles per hour. So at 130, I like a lot where Jamie Nielsen sits right now. I think he can park that thing in lane 1. Here comes King. He's going to come rolling down, and he's probably going to slot himself into lane number 2. And as you said, the rookie, Runny, got to be on the outside. 115, Jeff.
Nielsen in turn number 1. King is powering up into the entrance pin of turn number 1. We mentioned Runny will be back into the outside. We are 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 mark. 1 minute period has begun for Guntersville Waterboard H1 Unlimited 2B. Nielsen up there in front on the back chute in the warm-up period, followed by King and Dylan Runny. Brad loose, 45 seconds until the start. I think it'll be Nielsen in 1, King in 2, Runny and back on the outside. Bring him to the green flag.
That's what it's going to be, and it looks like Jamie Nielsen is way out front. He is. Is he early? Maybe a little bit, but I don't think so. I think he's in pretty good shape, but watch the red boat.
Yeah, you won Home Street. You won Home Street. Let's get it.
You can hear the piston power start to roll.
The driver I mentioned this morning, unnamed, it was King. He was there at 22. He might be right on it.
This could be good. Jeff said he's got some inside scoop on Jimmy King in the piston boat. He's going to bring a lot of speed on the outside. We're inside 10, we're inside 5, we're 3, 2, 1, mark. And it certainly appears to be a clean start. It is legal. And the boats were actually late behind the line, but there was a lot of speed in the piston boat for Jimmy King, but he's a couple of ticks behind Jamie Nielsen. Nielsen's going to get down to the lower corner. Look on the outside. There's a lot of red out there and a lot of rumbling going on with the piston boat. This is going to be good, Jeff, but off the corner, it is Jamie Nielsen. Legend Yacht Transport by about 4 boat lengths.
Nielsen, your leader, has the advantage with lane number 1, but I think the horsepower advantage belongs to the turbo
pokes his nose out. He stands right on the hip of Nielsen, and he kept the RPM up. Gonna come down and put one in the book. Side by side racing here. One in the books, and it's Nielsen by half a boat length. Literally half a boat length at the completion of lap number 1. Runny comes across in third. Was King able to gobble him up? He was, but now he's going to give it back because of the lane position. Looks like one boat down there. There are two. Jamie Nielsen approaches the exit pit, and there's King on the outside. I think you said it right, Jeff. King's got that horsepower, and he's got it wound up.
Super sweet action at Guntersville Waterboard Unlimited 2B. King showing the horsepower of the turbocharged Allison, but he is on the outside of Nielsen. Nielsen maintains that advantage. Closer to the buoys, the Turbinator in front, making 3 boat lengths. Nielsen cantering back as they work through turn number 2. Nielsen tighten it up. King's lead down to a boat length.
Coming off the top end of the race course, they're going to come down and pick up the white flag. It means one more to go. Jimmy King driving the Griggs Ace Hardware and driving the daylines out of the piston boat. The fans are eating it up, Jeff. Down to the lower end of the race course. King's got about 4 boat lengths, and Dylan Running comes across in third. Now it's a checkered flag lap. What we got down there? King by about 2 boat lengths, maybe 3, opening it up just a little bit. He's got that horsepower wound up. He's got to have the acceleration off the corner, and so far he's been able to show Jamie Nielsen the tail end of that red boat. He's got it wound up, Jeff.
And now King extends the lead, make it 7 boat lengths. Final lap at Guntersville Waterboard Unlimited 2B. The Turbinator looking for 400 big points in this heat. And now Nielsen dropping back. King's lead getting bigger. Final turn, final lap. Can the Turbinator hang on?
Drives him definitely clean off the top end, giving Nielsen plenty of room. Jimmy King, Griggs Ace Hardware, Charlie Grigg, you're going to pick up 400 big points there. Piston Power claims E2B, presented by the Guntersville Waterboard. The fans like that one. Here comes the home street, and Dylan Runny able to complete third. Jeff Anderson was in lane 1. Jamie Nielsen did an outstanding job of picking up that inside lane, but at the end of the day, he just couldn't hold off that Turbinator. Once he got that thing wound up and the RPMs up high, he could stay wide. It's this big wide race course. He could keep it up. He didn't have to worry about acceleration because he was bringing a lot of speed to the exit buoy.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
That was fun, and it was set up. Dylan Runny, the rookie, obviously starting in the back, but we mentioned before the heat and throughout the heat, Nielsen had the lane he wanted, but boy, that turbocharged Allison horsepower come into play, and plus 2, Brad, with the rough water, the heavier boat could have been a factor.
First boat coming across is powder blue and white. Miss Home Street, Jeff. Dylan Runny's going to get a chance to go in and mix it up.
You're exactly right, Brad, and you're reading my mind. I'm kind of wondering what the thoughts are right now inside the helmet of Dylan Runny. This will be his first ever H1 Unlimited heat where he can fight for lanes. His spotter here on the shoreline is Donnie Allen, very capable 350 shoe. Donnie, he's watching the clock and spotting for Dylan. Right now they're 5th in points, and if you're the Miss Home Street camp, you're the defending national championship boat, I think you might want to be a little aggressive here. You want to score high, you want to score well.
Yeah, you certainly do. But then at the other end of the spectrum, you want to temper that a little bit. You got to bring it back in one piece. We've seen some boats with cracks in them. We've seen a little bit of damage. The crew chief and the, as we used to say back in the day, some of the wood butchers have been busy on some of these boats, fixing some damage that boats have endured out here. Andrew Tate just painted the exit pin up there. He came around slowly, as he did last time, Jeff, if you will remember. He drove very slowly around the race course and then positioned himself very well for an inside lane. Top end of the race course is the bright red U8, the Beacon Electric with J. Michael Kelly. And our boats, not sure they could be spread apart any further from each other on the race course right now.
You're reading my mind once again. Remember, we had that on our last heat, 2B, same scenario right here early on in the warm-up period. And Allen Land Surveying Unlimited 3A, 3:15 until the start. Kelly by the start-finish line buoy in the dominant red Beacon Electric. Dylan Runny cut through the infield in the Home Street blue and white. Miss Home Street, Runny by the start-finish line buoy. Tate just exiting turn number 1 in the white, gold, and black. Goodman Real Estate, 2:55 until the start. Brad, still lots to decide.
There's still lots to decide. Reminding our fans who may be new again, when the boats leave the pit area and come onto the race course, they do not have an assigned lane. This is the milling period. As my friend Jeff Ayler likes to say, this is the race before the race. You slice and dice, if you will, for lack of a better term, and you earn your lane based on timing. We've already seen the 80-mile-an-hour rule come into play. You cannot drop below 80 miles per hour. You will be disqualified and receive no points. You've got to keep it up above 80 miles an hour, and then you've got to find the lane you want. Hopefully you have plenty of water to play with. You're on time on the line when the clock strikes 0 with full boat speed. It's all about the start. Now, with 2 seconds mark, 2 minutes. 2 minutes to the start. Well, I think I can see how this one's going to lay out, Jeff Ayler. I don't think there's going to be a lot of mystery here. I think we're still going to have Dylan running to the far outside as he is at the top end of the race course behind our other 2 boats. But this time he doesn't have to trail the field.
Exactly, Brad. Runny can come up. Now, you do have to have your lane established, correct, prior to the entrance pin at turn number 2.
That's where, whatever lane, that's a very good call. At the entrance pin to the upper corner, that is the lane you must start in. Whatever lane you're in when you get there, that's where you have to start.
So we still could have the leapfrog activity, but I don't think we're going to see that here. Water conditions have laid down, lumpy, a little soupy, but it's manageable. So Andrew Tate right now, Brad, looks like he'll position himself in lane 1 in Goodman Real Estate. We are 3, 2, 1. Mark. 1 minute period has begun for Allen Land Surveying, H1 Unlimited 3A. J. Michael Kelly will slide into 2 lane in the dominant red U8 Beacon Plumbing. Dylan Runny will go to the outside in the Home Street blue and white Miss Home Street. We're coming up on the 40-second mark. Brad Luce, take him up to turn number 2. Bring him to the green flag for Allen Land Surveying, Heat 3A.
Home Street, Goodman Real Estate, Beacon Electric, top end of the race course, inside 30 seconds. Tate in 1, Kelly in 2, Dylan Runny on the outside. Goodman Real Estate's in 1, Beacon Electric in 2. On the outside with boat speed is Dylan Runny. You said it's about a 12-second run off the top of the corner. Boy, they're going to be tight. Kelly's got room in there. They come off the corner at about 10 seconds. Here comes the run. We are inside 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. Boy, my watch, Jeff. They were all a tad early, but we'll call them the way they are on the water. I don't think there's much question that Runny was across. The start is under review. So we'll call them as they are, and the way they are right now is Andrew Tate in the U91, the Goodman Real Estate. He comes off the exit pit with the lead. You can't see the other 2 boats, but you can sure see those rooster tails on the outside. Somewhere out there is J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. Somewhere on the outside is the U1. Dylan Runny into Miss Home Street. But it's about a 4-boat length lead for Andrew Tate to Goodman Real Estate, Jeff.
All 3 jumped the gun according to H1 Unlimited. Andrew Tate, your leader, make it a 3-boat length advantage over the Beacon Electric. Dylan Runny falling back in 3rd in Home Street. Brad off the corner. There's Tate. There's Kelly.
Holy cow! Andrew Tate on the inside. He's got Kelly driving right in his right side rear view mirror. Because of the fact everybody jumped the gun, this has become a 4-boat heat. They just put 1 in the book. There is still 3 more laps to go. It's a 4-lap heat because everybody jumped down to the lower end. It is Andrew Tate still trying to hold out J. Michael Kelly. Dylan Runny has fallen back a little bit in the Home Street. This is going to come down to a Tate-Kelly showdown. They are a lap and a half in as they're up the backstretch. Kelly's still knocking on the door, Jeff.
So some drama here in Allen Land Surveying, Unlimited 3A with all 3 boats jumping the gun. All 3 will have to run 1 extra lap, as Brad Luce said. into turn number 2. Andrew Tate, your leader, making a 7-boat length advantage over J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. Dylan Runny, though, looks like he's trying to go to the buoy row in third in the home street. Ran off the turn, it's Tate. Now he extends it, make it 8 boat lengths.
Yeah, he actually gained on lap number 2, and they're going to come down and put 2 in the book. And Tate has now opened up water on J. Michael Kelly. He's got about 6 boat lengths, but Kelly's still knocking on the door. Runny has moved to the inside, but he's back about 2.5, maybe 3 rooster tails. He's not a factor right now, although having moved to the inside lane. Kelly not going to go away on the outside, staying in Andrew Tate's right side rearview mirror. He closed a little bit coming off the corner, Jeff.
We're just right now at the halfway mark with the gun jumps of all 3 boats in Allen Land Surveying. Unlimited 3A, Andrew Tate maintains that 8 boat length advantage. The top 2 entering turn number 2. Tate gets there first, driving clean on the inside, but boy, Kelly trying everything he can to close the deficit. They work around the turn. There is Tate. Where is Kelly? There he is.
Boy, it looks just like it did the last time. They're going to come down and put another one in the book. Tate still got him 7, 8 boat lengths on Kelly, but Kelly's not going away. What is getting my attention right now, Jeff Ayler, is the boat ride out of the U91, the Goodman Real Estate. He hasn't had boat ride like that all weekend long, and he's got the power. Now he's got the boat ride to use it. Kelly hit some rough water down there. You saw the boat bounce, and now Andrew Tate has opened up almost a full rooster tail on J. Michael Kelly.
1/2 lap left in Allen Land Surveying. Unlimited Heat 3A. Now the deficit for Andrew Tate getting more comfortable, but still work to do. Tate, your leader. Kelly still chases in second, but right now we're at the point Kelly might pull. Let Tate go get those 400. Dylan Runny remains in third and Miss Home Street. Final turn, final lap. Andrew Tate, Goodman Real Estate in front.
Off the top end of the race course. If he can just finish this last piece of straightaway, and he's going to be able to do it, Andrew Tate, U91, Goodman Real Estate is going to pick up 400 points on the water. J. Michael Kelly gave it a valiant effort, but could not run down the 91 Goodman Real Estate. Here comes Dylan Runny. Third place finish for our defending national high points champion, the U1, the Miss Home Street. Oh my goodness, there was boat riding at 91 like we haven't seen, at least.
Front row of the Southern Cup Championship.
3 boats are away from the pit area. 3 drones are away from the start finish line. They took out of here in formation. The drones are going up. Coming off the top end of the race course with 4 minutes and 30 seconds until the start, Corey Peabody driving the 9. The Beacon Plumbing, all white, trimmed in that metallic blue. It's a pretty hydroplane, and man, has Corey been able to make that thing go. The oldest boat on the H1 Unlimited circuit. Here's the guy who needs points and needs them badly. Dustin Eccles, Bucket List Racing. Jeff, I do not want to say what I'm about to say. These water conditions look pretty good right now. Let's run this thing. The water looks good. Let's go.
We're back to where we were at 8:30 this morning. Come on, come on, come on. Mother Nature, you're doing well.
3 minutes and 35 seconds to the start. Our boats are spread across the backstretch. Top end of the race course, Corey Peabody and the Beacon Plumbing. All white, trimmed in metallic blue. Oh, look at this. Here comes a move across the inside. And, oh, this is going to get a little bit close. No, it's not. No, it's not. Dustin says, I didn't get over here quick enough. He's going to have to move to the outside, I suspect. There he goes. I think he wanted to get in front of Corey and maybe get on the inside of him, but he was too late coming across, Jeff. Remember, for our fans watching this, the boat that is on the race course has priority and has the right-of-way over a boat that is cutting the race course. So Corey had the right-of-way there. It was going to get close if Dustin Eccles wanted to jump in front of him, and had the U9 wanted to just run right up on the back of him. Literally, it would have been legal. Dustin made the right move.
Well, best way to put it, it's not put this way, but Eccles needed to yield, and he did. And better yet, better be glad he did, because if not, that could have been a disaster right there in the warm-up period. That's what's so unique about H1 Unlimited Hydroplane Racing. This race before the race. Now, Brad, we have all three boats bunched up at the 2-minute 20-second mark. There's only one lane one. Corey Peabody right now has the best shot of getting it.
Yeah, if Dustin's going to beat him, he's going to have to drive around him. It sure looks that way. I thought maybe Dustin might hang back and cut the race course, but and here comes Jamie Nielsen. He's going to come across. I thought Dustin might do that. And Jamie's going to kill as much time as he can. Remember, he's just got to stay above 80 miles an hour, which he's doing. Once he goes past 2 buoys, then he establishes right away on the front straightaway. He's going to do that at the start-finish line. It's going to be Nielsen in 1, Peabody in 2, Eccles in 3, and they are very close together, side by side, as they come down the front straightaway. That was tight. That was very, very tight, because until they crossed the start-finish line, Jamie Nielsen did not have the right-of-way on that inside lane.
Brad, we've mentioned the past 2 seasons, Jamie Nielsen has a knack of getting lane number 1 in H1 Unlimited. Boy, that was expert tactician driving right there. He will be in lane number 1. We're coming up on the 1-minute period. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. That is the 1-minute period for Allen Land Surveying. H1 Unlimited Heat 3B by my eye. Jamie Nielsen, lane number 1. Corey Peabody, lane number 2. Dustin Eccles, our top qualifier in lane number 3, would love a win, would take a second. Brad Luce, 40 seconds away. Bring him down to the green flag for Allen Land Surveying 3B.
Watching one of the drone shots and coming up the backstretch there, sometimes these boats get spread apart quite a ways. They were not. There was only about 10 feet wide between those boats as they went up the backstretch. They've opened it up a little bit now. Inside 25 seconds, now 20 until the start. It's only about 12 off that corner. They might be a little bit early, coming up on 12 seconds right now, and they are to the exit pin. This should be good. Nielsen in 1, Peabody in 2, on the outside it's Eccles. We're inside 5 seconds. We are 3, 2, 1, mark. And there goes Corey Peabody. He gets the jump on the field. He broke the clock from lane number 2. Broke the clock, meeting the first one across the line. The start is legal. And on the inside, now on the outside, there you see Corey Peabody. Nielsen is there on the inside, back a couple of boat breaks. And somewhere on the outside, you can see the rooster tail out there. Our top qualifier, Dustin Eccles. But they're running 3 wide down the backstretch. And once again, Corey Peabody is off to the races, Jeff.
Peabody in front, flying up the back straightaway. Dustin Eccles is hitting in the rooster tail. Now we go to the drone shot. Peabody in 2. Now Nielsen will tighten it up on the inside. He will go to second. Eccles in third. Peabody in front, deck to deck dueling for second.
Watch out for Dustin. Where is he? There he is. He slides to the outside. Corey Peabody, we're going to go 3 times around. The start was legal. Peabody, he's got 1 up and 1 down with 2 to go. Then it's Nielsen on the inside. Dustin Eccles, he needs those second place points, Jeff, but he's having to ride a big race course right now because he is on the outside of Corey Peabody. Look at Nielsen stay with Corey on the inside. Legend Yacht Transport not going away from that left side mirror on Corey Peabody. The boat driving the hardest right now is Dustin Eccles in Bucket List Racing. He needs those second place points.
We're at the halfway mark of Allen Land Surveying Unlimited 3B. Corey Peabody comfortably in front, but the story in 3B is the second place battle between Jamie Nielsen and Dustin Eccles. Nielsen obviously with the advantage, running the shorter way around on the buoy row. Eccles needs to try to pass Nielsen, get those 300 points. Peabody in front, Brad, it's side by side dueling for second.
Coming out to put 2 in the books with 1 to go. Corey Peabody getting a great boat ride, but it is Jamie Nielsen driving the daylights out of that Legend Yacht Transport. He is hanging on to second place. He knows how big this is for Dustin. Dustin knows he's got to get those second place points. He wants to be on the front row of the final. But Jeff, he is driving that big race course, having to be on the outside of Corey Peabody's wash. Peabody He's gone. Got a rooster tail and a half. And now look at Nielsen in the Legend Yacht Transport. Got almost a rooster tail on Eccles.
Peabody in front. Nielsen now comfortably in second. Eccles tried to get as close to Peabody's rooster tail to cover less real estate. Got a little wet, then had to swing outside. 1, 2, 3 in 3B. Peabody, Nielsen, Eccles. Brad, bring him to the checkered flag.
Top end of the race course, Corey Peabody. Nobody has solved this puzzle yet this weekend. Checkered flag flies. Corey Peabody, Beacon Plumbing U9 will pick up the win on the water for 400 points. Jamie Nielsen with a great run in Legend Yacht Transport, and it's Dustin Eccles with a solid third place finish. Oh boy, and now the point totals are going to be fruit salad. It's looking good, Jeff. The boat is running like a rocket. One more, he says. And when he says that, we know what he's talking about. He's talking about that final heat. 6 minutes. And I think the first boat that's going to come out, well, I thought I knew what it was going to be. I thought maybe it was going to be Corey Peabody, but I think the first boat away is bright red, and I believe it is J. Michael Kelly, but he's got company coming with him. Bucket List is coming. The Home Street is coming with him. The Goodman Real Estate is coming with him. Jamie Nielsen is away. Corey Peabody is away. We've got all 6 boats away from the dock, and that was the old guy. He's colorblind, but at least I can still see a little bit.
Brad.
They got close together. The 2 boats on the far right got very close together.
That's the 91 and the 8. It looks like from our angle.
Kelly, I think. I'm the colorblind guy, but we'll check what those 2 boats were. We're watching on the monitor, and I believe with that fencing right in there, I believe that is J. Michael Kelly, and it is.
Oh.
J. Michael Kelly and Andrew Tate could have put their hands together. They were so close as they came out of the pit area, but they've got that squared away. I don't believe Jeff Ayler there was any contact. Honestly, I'm not sure either of them knew the other one was there. I think they were coming away, maybe checking gauges, and all of a sudden,
speed over the last day, you know, and just kind of knowing they have it dialed in, but not letting anybody know.
Cutting across the ESCO Electric infield will be Runny in the Home Street and Goodman Real Estate boat with Andrew Tate.
yeah, it's interesting to watch these guys run on the water together, because if you saw the preseason interview with Andrew Tate, they asked him about teammate Dylan Runny, and he's had nothing but good things to say about him, and said they had raced together since they were kids, blah, blah, blah. But he really did not like the term teammate, and he made that pretty plain. He says, no, he wears powder blue, and I wear black and gold. And he made it pretty clear, once they go on the race course, all bets are off. He's going to go out and try and win, and Dylan Runny is just another competitor. Beacon Plumbing, the 3rd boat through the corner down here. Check that Beacon Electric. Then it's the Beacon Plumbing with Corey Peabody. So the boats are spread out a little bit. Andrew Tate going up the backstretch with 250, sitting on the inside lane right now, but a lot can change.
It's kind of interesting the way Team Madison both went through the ESCO Electric infield together.
Does the 80-mile-an-hour rule hold for this 2023 Columbia Cup?
Yeah, there's a little change to it, Brad.
Yeah, there is, and it's kind of like what the rule has changed to be. It's that, you know, it's like fishing, and you throw a great big net out over the water. You're going to catch all kinds of things beyond just the fish you were trying to get. And that's not really what the 80-mile rule was intended to do. They're trying to catch a specific violation, and that's the one that yields a starting advantage to a team. So this gives the chief referee, Rick Sandstrom, the leeway to do that.
Gotcha. Boats coming out of the turn number 4 for Buffalo Brothers onto the front stretch. It'll be Tate in the Goodman Real Estate onto the front stretch first.
2 minutes.
Home
2 minutes.
Street, Dylan Runny second. Then the bright red Beacon Electric. And boy, really close to the Beacon Plumbing. J. Michael Kelly right next to his teammate there, Corey Peabody. Across the Mosteller start-finish line down to all doors, turn number 1. Anybody jumping across the ESCO infield?
I don't think they can, Mike. We're still a minute 35.
How you doing there, teammate? Get away from me. Don't you know I don't like this? Get away from me now.
Well, those two are deck to deck.
I know.
Peabody and Kelly.
I didn't think they were
electric on the outside, plumbing on the inside.
They were supposed to be all pally, I thought.
It's kind of interesting, actually.
Andrew Tate's up and moving down here a little quicker than I thought. He got down here at 126, and you don't want to be down here at 130, so he was a little before that, and he gave it a little squirt. Right in front of AJ, you got all 4.
1 minute mark.
Goodman in 1. The Goodman Real Estate boat with Tate.
Both Beacon boats still right next to each other.
Yep, and it looks like they'll be in 3 and 4. You've got Runny in lane number 2. Peabody in 3 and Kelly in 4 as they head up the backstretch with 37 seconds.
Now we'll see if those scoring up and in the testing and in the qualifying, if they're going to hit those marks. 30 seconds.
So lane number 1.
We're going to be the Goodman Real Estate for this race. Goodman Real Estate.
Home Street. Corey Peabody in the 9, Beacon Plumbing.
15.
In lane number 3, J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. The 8 in lane number 4 as they come
10.
out of turn number 4.
6.
Buffalo Brothers
5,
on to the front stretch.
3, 2.
Let's get it.
It is a clean start, and the speed is on the outside with J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric heading down to turn number 1 for All Doors Incorporated. It is a legal start. It is a legal start.
Coming down here 4 wide, J. Michael Kelly really flying the U8, the Beacon Electric. He's got the lead on the outside, but he's got a lot of speed off to his left.
4 boats right next to each other. It looks like the number 1 has the lead right now with Beacon Plumbing, Corey Peabody in second as they come around turn number 2.
Yeah, it is. Nice run by Peabody in first place, heading up the backstretch. The home street with Runny in second place. It'll be a shorter course for Runny. The question is, what will happen with Tate on the inside? Can he catch up as they dive into White's Finished Furniture, turn number 3, and come around to Buffalo Brothers, turn number 4? The leader's going to be the home street at the exit pin with Dylan Runny. Way on the outside, falling back a little bit off the pace is J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. Here comes the race across start finish. Peabody on the outside, gaining on Runny in the home street on the inside.
It is Runny on the inside. It is Peabody on the outside. And they are side by side as they get to the entrance pit of the corner. They are dead even. Runny on the inside of Corey Peabody, AJ.
Looks like Peabody's got a slight edge, but then...
Ooh, they touched.
Oh, whoa.
They touched.
Look at that. Peabody a slight edge on the outside as they touch on the corner.
They did touch in Tire Factory turn number 2. Peabody's going to pull ahead. Runny's falling back about a half a rooster tail. Goodman's trying to gain on the inside in the 91. The Goodman Real Estate boat with Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate had a terrific turn 4 to stay just inside the buoy marker. He was lost in everybody's rooster tail, but don't count him out. The big G on the inside is still a playa.
Yeah, your race leader is Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing coming across start-finish line.
The U1 needs to run an extra lap.
So the home street needs to run an extra lap. We'll have more details on that. Also hearing the 9, Mike. Okay, more details coming up. Race leaders Peabody as they come into Tire Factory turn number 2.
The U9 and Peabody way out front, probably 3/4 of a rooster tail right now. Of course, the home street is back down a lap, and then coming in second place is the 8 teammate with the Beacon Electric and J. Michael Kelly.
Yeah, it looks like a parade right now with a rooster tail lead for each boat over the next behind them. In the lead is Peabody. Then you've got Runny, followed by J. Michael Kelly and Andrew Tate as they come to the top turns. White's Finished Furniture and the Buffalo Brothers turn number 4 at the exit pin. The final lap, checkered flag is out. Peabody is going to take the checkered flag in the Beacon Plumbing. Second place on the race course is the one, Home Street with Dylan Runny. Third place, look at this, J. Michael Kelly, able to get around Andrew Tate in the Goodman Real Estate boat.
Well, that race had a little bit of everything.
Yes. And interesting to see what judges may do about lap number 2 and the boats that touched right over in Tire Factory turn number 2.
And the home street still going around turn 2.
Guys, you have said they touched. Who touched?
Oh, it was Peabody and Runny.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, we didn't know who had done that. So, but there's no precautionary extra lap for Corey Peabody. That is going to be for,
There is.
Well, he didn't take one.
No, it's going to be the one Runny with the extra lap.
Okay, yeah, because Corey's already back to the dock.
Right. You're right, Brad.
Extra precautionary lap,
boy.
yes.
And from what we could see, it may have been Runny that moved out a little bit.
Well, clearly that's what I would think that's what the officials are thinking, and had there been any question about it, they would have had them both run the extra lap. So I think the fact that Corey was not told to run an extra lap is probably indicative of where they think a possible problem might have been. Corey Peabody, you've been racing.
Yeah, it was a hell of a heat, I'll tell you that right there. It was
Avoid ticket violations by hiding from speed laser detector and
The 40 flavor pack out first.
AJ?
Yeah.
Got a question for you.
Okay.
Are you ready for the final heat come tomorrow afternoon? Because you're going to have 6 of them coming side by
Yes,
side.
I am overly ready for that.
Buckle up, buddy.
Jamie Nielsen in the 11, Trust Company Legend Yacht Transport. Heading up the backstretch, the Griggs backstretch in lane number 1, up to White's Finished Furniture and Hardwoods, turn number 3. And he's got a pretty darn near full throttle on it.
Here comes our 2 red boats. Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware away from the dock with Jimmy King. Here comes his son coming with him, Bobby King, coming away from the dock now. He spools up the LYCOMING turbine engine on the U12. The Graham Trucking got a whole lot of red headed your way, got a whole lot of chartreuse and yellow up at the top end, Michael.
And across the Mosteller start-finish line on the front stretch is Nielsen in the 11.
Interesting
Just
for
at the exit pit of turn number 4, the flavor pack.
For the photo opportunity and for, documenting it, hydroplane race in history. The Kings, Pocket Kings coming out together. And I thought it was interesting that all of the boats were out on the course starting to shore up in one way, shape, or form at the 5-minute mark. Both the Kings didn't come out till there was under 4, more like about 3:30 on the clock. Gamesmanship or just, a different tack, I guess.
It's just a different tack, You don't want to use the same start procedure every single time. Mix it up. The other piece to that puzzle is if you have got a really slick move, don't play it in Heat 1B. Save that for tomorrow afternoon about 4:30.
Great point.
So down to the lower end of the race course, Dustin Eccles with the flavor pack. He goes through in about lane number 3 right in front of AJ.
No takers on the ESCO Electric infield. Heat 1B thanks to Par Lumber. News Radio 610 KONA and 610KONA.com.
2:30 mark.
It's the piston-powered Griggs boat. Jimmy King across the Mosteller start-finish line.
I'm kind of pulling for the piston power. I got to be honest with you. I know I'm supposed to stay neutral, but I just want him to be competitive, stay in it, and have a good showing. I mean, the fans just absolutely love the piston power, the popularity, the populist.
So who's got the best position right now?
Oh, we've got a taker across the ESCO Electric infield.
Everybody.
It's the Florida. It's the flavor pack. Dustin Eccles.
Yeah, and here goes Jamie Nielsen. And this is a legal maneuver where he's doing it. He has to cut on the Grand Prix race course. That is a legal maneuver. Who is in the best position right now? You can't tell because there's so many different variables and so many different things you can do, and a lot's going to change in the next 1:35. Is coming up right now. You don't want. I always say you don't want to be down at this end of the race course at 1:30.
Nielsen jumps across the ESCO Electric infield to the front stretch.
Oh, I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, we got less than 1:30.
Oh, the Griggs boat continues around the top end of the course.
Oh, there's no way they're going to make it back in time.
Minute 20. Yeah, he can.
He's taking it really wide. He can speed up. He can get there.
Keep an eye on Dustin Eccles with 1:12 right in front of you, AJ. He
there he is.
Lane 1 and take it if he wants it.
Flavor Pack is in lane 1 right now.
Keep an eye on the piston mode. He may cut the race course down here. He's got to go around the GP course to do it.
Here comes Nielsen. He's flying, trying to catch up.
And I'm not sure.
Why is Jimmy going all the way down?
Yeah, he is, but he does this before. He'll keep the speed up, and he keeps the RPM. He'll be there. Don't you worry. 35 seconds. Take him, Michael, up the back chute.
He's got his timing mark. He knows where he's at on the Columbia River in the Griggs boat with 39 seconds to the start of Heat 1B from Par Lumber. On the inside, you've got the Flavor Pack with Dustin Eccles. Nielsen in lane number 2.
30 seconds.
Bobby King in the Graham Trucking 12 is way on the outside, and he'll have to be behind the trailer boat as a rookie. Now you've got Jimmy King, who will pull up in lane number 3 in the Griggs Ace Hardware U3. They are up to the top end of the course and to Buffalo Brothers exit pin for turn number 4.
10.
Eccles, lane number 1. Nielsen in lane number 2. A hard charging, but way behind is the 3 with Jimmy King. He's way off the start.
Great start.
Ooh, that was really close for Jamie Nielsen. He's got the boat speed and the lead in Par Lumber Heat 1B. Heading down to turn number 1 for All Doors Incorporated. It is a legal start.
Imagine if you could design products as quickly as your ideas flow. Imagine if 3D...
AJ coming right to you. Jamie Nielsen on the outside.
Jamie Nielsen in the U11, bouncing a little bit. Ooh, just kind of popped over. Looks like that Eccles managed to catch up a little bit on corner number 2.
Tire Factory turn number 2. Eccles made a move in the Flavor Pack.
U3 is going back to the pit area.
It didn't sound right from the get-go, and I think that's maybe why Jimmy King moved way outside in the milling period. So the race leaders are at the top end of the course in a White's Finish Furniture and Hardwoods turn number 3. On the inside, Eccles in the 40 Flavor Pack trying to catch up with Nielsen in lane number 2. A really nice turn by Nielsen. And look at the Legend Yacht Transport 11 come down the front stretch for the completion of lap number 1. He's flying it out of the water. Oh, trying to catch up on the inside. Can Dustin Eccles make a move in lap number 2? He gets to All Doors Incorporated turn number 1.
Legend Yacht Transport presented by the Trust Company. Jamie Nielsen's going to get down here first, but Flavor Pack has got the late position on the inside. He's back about 7 boat lengths, AJ.
The U11 coming around the corner in first place. Nielsen looking great. Eccles still about 3/4 of a rooster tail behind, but trying to get up there, trying to catch up.
Yeah, that Flavor Pack seemed to lose more speed than Eccles did on the outside. So that inside lane can get awfully lumpy.
And when he nailed that start, all he did was continue to push, but he cannot shake the competition fully just yet.
Watch Eccles. He's been gaining on the Griggs backstretch as they go into the White's Furniture. Turn number 3 to Buffalo Brothers. Turn number 4. It's still Nielsen out in front, and that water is a little bit bumpy. Oh, major adjustment just to get around the exit pit of the Buffalo Brothers. Turn number 4 for the Flavor Pack boat. Nielsen with over a rooster tail lead now at the completion of lap number 2. Heading down the front stretch to All Doors Incorporated. Turn number 1.
Yeah, Dustin Eccles just moved to the outside. Jamie Nielsen was just pinning Dustin Eccles on that inside lane. He couldn't do anything, and now he's got almost 2 rooster tails. Nielsen right to AJ.
Nielsen in first by almost 2 rooster tails, looking amazing. He's going to definitely, as long as nothing happens, looks like he's sailing. Then we got, of course, Eccles screaming by in second, and then third place, Bobby King coming in as the trail boat.
Yeah, that's going to be big points, Dave, for the third place.
Absolutely, with the points.
So back up to the top end of the course, off of the Griggs backstretch into the White's Finish Furniture and Hardwoods, turn number 3. Jamie Nielsen on the 2.5-mile super speedway into Buffalo Brothers, turn number 4. Holding the buoy line pretty close as he gets to the exit pin onto the front stretch. The checkered flag is out. And your winner for Heat 1B, Par Lumber, Jamie Nielsen. Legend Yacht Transport presents the Trust Company. Second place for the Flavor Pack with Dustin Eccles in the 40. Bobby King staying way outside in the Graham Trucking number 12, just at the exit pin now, and onto the front stretch will take third place points. Unfortunately, for the fan favorite piston-powered U3 Griggs Ace Hardware, Jimmy King did not finish.
Mr. Nielsen, sir, you've been racing. That was fun.
Oh, that was a race for sure, man. That was everything we had to keep Dustin behind us. And man, he drove a great race. anytime you can beat a boat like that, you know we're doing something good. But you know, this U11 Legend Yacht Transport presented by the Trust Company, this team's giving me a great boat. All the work they put in this weekend testing, I think it shows that we found a combination that can hang with these guys.
From my perspective, I've never been in one of these things, but from my perspective, you had him on the inside and you just pinned him in lane one legally.
The best I could legally. I mean, Dustin's a true gentleman racer, and I would expect nothing less from him, and I want to give him the same courtesy out there. So, especially first heat of the weekend, you don't want to build any enemies out there. So, Dustin's a great guy. It's a great race. Hope the fans enjoyed it just as much as we did, because I think we're both hanging it out there just about as much as we could.
As we saw in the first heat, which was great competition.
Sports Express, the speed, power, and adventure of sports. On land, water, or in the air, Sports Express captures the energy and exhilaration of intense competition.
Sports Express presents. Want to come out here and do especially well in front of their hometown fans. This is going to be a great race today.
Down to the pits, we have our cohort, of course, Doug Ford. Doug?
Thanks, Jim. Though all the damage has been repaired, the bad news is there's more damage to follow. The Frosted Flakes was damaged in a trial run. Fortunately, the crew is based right here in Seattle. The Budweiser crew working with them are thrashing, getting this boat ready for Heat 1B. Even the owner, Bob Hughes, is right in here helping dry the composite they're laying on to seal the boat up. It's going to be fast, it's going to be furious, but the boat will be ready for Heat 1B. Back to you, Jim.
Thank you, Doug. We're all set to go. 12 of the fastest race boats in the world here on Lake Washington. We'll have it all for you in just a moment.
Nothing beats a winning team, pushing hard, reaching for the dream. Nothing beats clean, crisp and cold. Got the king of beers, you're on a roll.
She's won 11 world championships and the 1990 Gold Cup. She's Bernie Little's Miss Budweiser.
Welcome back to Seattle, Washington, and unlimited hydroplane racing this year. There's been some changes in the format. There's been a little controversy. We went to the drivers and asked, how do you like it?
I think we're providing a heck of a show for the fans. It's proven to be a real winner with the press and the fans, and our new sponsors are recruiting to the sport. I just would like to see the top qualifier get his pick of the lane. That's the way it's done in auto racing, and we're going to talk about it in November. We're going to run it through Honolulu this year, and it's going to be a great show. But if we put a little more into either qualifying or dicing in the hands of the drivers, it'll be a better show yet.
Well, it's an interesting concept. I am from the old school of boat racing. I got used to the old style, but we'll go with this one. I'm having fun. It's, like I say, again, an interesting concept, and it seems to be working. It really pleases the fans, so that's what counts.
The new format is very interesting so far. We've raced 4 races with the new format. Being that I've been racing now for 22 years, and most of those years we're running under the old format, I'm a little bit pro for the old format, but the spectators really do like the new format, and we do have some bugs to work out of it, but I think it's going to work out fine.
Well, I think it's great for the fans. It's good for the sport. I mean, this is a spectacular event, and we're here to put on a show. A lot of people pay a lot of money to come to these things. Sponsors spend a lot of money to put on a good show, so that's what we're here to do, and I really feel it's put on a better show. But as far as a driver or crew standpoint, it's a lot harder on us, but that's our job. You know, we'll go on to put on a show, and you know, the act just gets a little bit tougher, but we're just going to have to suffice.
Gets a little tougher and a little wilder. The Miss Budweiser you see there on the right of your screen has been involved in a couple of crashes under the new format. Jim's with the owner of that boat.
Well, here's a guy that has to be wondering, after 2 straight races of playing Dodgem cars and getting your boats banged up, is this one ready to go?
Well, yeah, Jim, as you've seen here this week, we set a new record qualifying, and Miss Budweiser's ready. The crew worked around the clock, and quite a few volunteers pitched in to help, and but it's back together. At least one of them is, and we'll hope that this will survive here today.
We're ready now for Heat 1A. UR5, Ed Shunan Harbor, Todd Yarling in lane number 1. Lane 2 is the Pepsi American Spirit, Mark Evans driving the U50. Lane 3 is the Winston Eagle with Mark Tate, the U10. Lane 4 is the Super Range Golf Boat, George Woods Jr., the driver. That's the U8. In lane number 5, the U12, Miss Budweiser, Scott Pierce, the driver of the boat. And in lane number 6, the U24, oh boy, Alberto Pork Jerky, Mike Egret is the driver.
And Mike is the closest to the shore. He's the pace boat on this flag start. Are they lined up? Referee takes a look, looking for the green flag. Here it comes. The race is on. Out of lane number 3, shoots the Winston Eagle down the corner number 1 deck.
Out of lane number 5, the Miss Budweiser has come up on the outside of the Winston Eagle. Mark Tate trying to hold him off. It's going to be tight through that turn, but you can see Miss Budweiser getting a little bit of light on the outside, trying to stay just on the edge of that rooster tail. Jim will point out again that rooster tail can be like a weapon out there. It's equivalent to something like 7 tons of water coming off of that boat. So the Miss Budweiser wants to ride on the edge but not catch any of it because it can literally throw the boat over. You can see the Miss Budweiser coming up now about a boat length behind the Winston Eagle in second place.
Mark Tate is the leader at high points for driver championship coming into this event by 614 points, but he has an extra race under his belt over Scotty Pierce, who did not compete in Hawaii for the point. Race last November.
Mark Tate getting very light coming out of the turn. Second place is the Miss Budweiser, Scott Pearson. And third, it is Mark Evans in the American Spirit boat. Now you can see the Miss Budweiser coming up on the outside. They're just about even Steven as Mark Tate pushes the Winston Eagle just a little bit harder. Got a little bit light, but look at the Miss Budweiser. She's got a little bit of rough water on the outside. A great aerial shot to show you how this course looks and how the boats are negotiating. You can see at the very top of your screen the 2 boats just about side by side. So far, Mark Tate has held off the challenge on the Miss Budweiser.
Here on lap number 2, watch Mark Tate take the Winston Eagle into corner number 3. He hangs it on the hook, and up comes a second rooster tail. And that's a lot of water, Dick, as he comes down to complete lap number 2 of 5.
A little bit better control that time around. As you can see, the Miss Budweiser has dropped back several boat lengths on it now, but don't discount him yet. He's got a ways to go. It's a 5-lap race. We are just completing lap number 2. So Scott Pierce, if he sees good water ahead of him, has plenty of power to punch it right up there and try to race him again. For the moment, it is the Winston Eagle boat holding on to first place, the Miss Budweiser in second, and you see the third place boat just going into the turn now from the aerial shot. That is the Pepsi American Spirit boat Mark Evans is driving.
Looking around this course, look at that log boom jammed with thousands and thousands of spectators. Over 300,000 people here around this 2-mile oval, Lake Washington, Seattle today.
And the lake is being churned up royally by this boat, the Winston Eagle. He had a bit of a challenge early on from the Miss Budweiser. Miss Budweiser is still not out of it as they come down to complete lap number 3. Scott Pierce may be just looking for the opening. At the same time, he's got several more races to go today. You can see there where he's dropped back, just coming into the turn. At the top of your screen, he doesn't want to rip up the equipment early. He's got an engine that's working well. He knows that he can ride up even with the Winston Eagle. He may wait for the challenge in the next race, which will be coming up shortly. But for the moment, Mark Tate knows also that he had a challenge early on. He's got to be testing this water out, testing the boat out, and Jim, he really hasn't let off it at all. He's kept the speeds high.
He's averaging over 140 mile an hour on this 2-mile course. The boat and the crew and the owner from Seattle, the driver Mark Tate from the Detroit, Michigan area.
They complete lap number 4, and again, they are approaching 140 miles an hour, which looks like it'll be somewhere in that area for the average speed. And of course, that's on this boat, the Winston Eagle. They have really had a season in this boat and has really run well under the guy who was Rookie of the Year in the unlimited hydroplane racing last year. And for him to come up and move into this kind of equipment and put this kind of a challenge all season long, Mark Tate is obviously an up-and-coming young driver who's really got his head together, and I think he is gluing perfectly with the pit crew because they really are having a good time racing the boat. There you can see he was passing up one of the slower boats on the inside. Mark Tate this time taking a wider berth to stay out of its way.
This should be the checker flag lap now. We're looking at our second place Miss Budweiser. We'll pick up 30 points here. Here's your 40-point winner, the Winston Eagle coming down.
A good way to start the day for Mark Tate. I know owner Steve Wimmer has got to be happy about it. One boat went down and did not finish. That was the Old Boy Pork Jerky boat. And the Winston Eagle, it went by it just as he came around the final lap. There you see Mike Egret. He has popped the hatch.
And there's the happy owner, the Winston Eagle owner, Steve Wimmer, who's having a lot of fun this year. He said, this is a great year of racing, and he's right. Winston Eagle, Miss Bud, Pepsi American Spirit, Edge Hoonan Harbor, Old Boy Alberto did not finish. Let's go to the winner's circle.
Scratch on me, and the rescue divers, they did a fabulous job. It's just, it's a miracle I'm here, but we'll be out there tomorrow or Sunday and go race with these guys.
Let's talk about racing now on Heat 1B. In the U7 Misco Bowling, Jerry Hopp will be driving. In the Old Boy Alberto Beef Jerky, Mitch Evans. The U3. Lane number 3, the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, the man you just met, Mike Hansen, the U6. Lane number 5 will be the U2 Hyperlubes T Plus with Stephen David. And lane number 4, the U99, the KISW Miss Rock, Jack Barry. And in the U19, the KMPS Jackpot Food Mart boat, Ken Muscatel.
They get the green flag, and we're off to the races here in Heat 1B as they head down to corner number 1 to come up that back chute, which of course is lined by thousands of people on the log boom that they actually, they rent this space to watch the race every year. It's a great race. Look at this aerial shot here.
Boy, tight action as they head down into turn number 1, and that's always the danger turn on any course. The KISW Miss Rock, Jack Barry, did not take a start in this race. As they come down the back chute right now, it is going to be tight quarters for all of these boats, and they're still testing out the water in lap number 1. In the lead, it is the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes boat. Mike Hansen, who you met just earlier, as we told you, Mike had been in a crash in that boat just the last race in Tri-Cities. They brought it into Seattle. He had more problems with it overnight. They've got it fixed, and it's out there. Second place, Mitch Evans had a little bit of a problem. That's going to cost him. He lost the speed, and it was just a fraction of a second, but it was enough for the Hyperloops Plus, Stephen David, to take over second place in the turbine boat. So now your leader is the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, followed by Hyperloops Plus, and then Old Boy Alberto Beef Jerky with Mitch Evans. A great aerial shot to show you the boats as they come through the turn.
As we look at an aerial shot, you can see the Hyperloop T Plus in second place. We're looking at the fourth place boat, Ken Muscatel in the Jackpot Food Mart. Misco Bowling and Jerry Hopp's boat did not start, and the Miss Rock with Jack Berry also failed to heed the call for here in Heat 1B. So we have 4 boats in action as we look at our leader going down the back chute.
A good ride for Mike Hansen, and I'll tell you, that crew really deserves it after all they've done to keep that boat in the water and get it here for the race today. Now he can kind of settle back a little bit. He has to be concerned mainly with one boat. That's Stephen David right behind him in the Hyperloops Plus. But so far, Stephen David has been satisfied with second place. These guys don't want to rip up the equipment. You can see Stephen closing in just a little bit. He's about 3 boat lengths behind, but your leader is in a clean field of water, and that is the Mike Hansen boat, Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. A little bit of a battle it looks like out there, but in reality, the yellow boat on the outside is being passed up by Mitch Evans on the inside. The yellow boat is the Jackpot Food Mart. Ken Muscatel, there you see Mitch Evans. He is riding in third.
Mitch Evans has one of the few piston boats left on the circuit. A turbocharged Allison. As we look at this course in the skyline of downtown Seattle over Lake Washington. As we look at our leader coming down, this should be the checker flag lap. And it'll be a good comeback for this boat that was flat in its back last week in Tri-Cities, Washington.
Mike Hansen and the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes boat will look around for the green flag as he comes down by the starter's tower this time around. Third place and still running solid out there is the piston-powered boat known as the Old Boy Oberto Beef Jerky. And he's having a fine ride. Mitch Evans, that is, driving that boat. Second place is Hyperloop's T+. Steve David, all of these boats now coming down to enter into the green flag lap, which signifies just one lap to go. I think at this point, Jim, it's safe to say they're going to hold their positions. They're going to finish it out. There's a lot more racing to go this afternoon. And again, they don't want to rip up the equipment. They're going to be happy with their positions.
As we look at our leader, the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, down at an aerial shot.
Cockpit. He continues across the start-finish line to make it official. His crew is not going to get particularly wild about it. They've got a way to go. There you can see Golf, George Woods Jr. They all eye the white flag high atop the starters stand, and they wait for the green flag to come out. They'll come around the corner. They'll try to hold their position. They must be in the right lane that has been assigned to them by the draw. All eyes now up on the starting tower to see if they replace the white flag with the green. It looks like they're lined up, and they should get a good start on this. We wait for the flag as they come down. There it is. Right off the bat, we've got a battle. The Winston Eagle trying to take it out of lane number 1. Pepsi American Spirit also right up alongside. It's going to be tight. All boats diving for the inside of that turn. They'd like to get the inside lane if possible. They must hold it as long as the boats are alongside. A great shot. You can see the American Spirit now trying to move up in between the other two boats. On the outside, it is the Miss Budweiser, and it looks like the Miss Budweiser is going to take Mark Tate on the back stretch.
Oh, the Budweiser came out of lane number 4. Mike Egret in. The Old Boy Alberto Pork Jerky was left standing at the dockside, and those three boats hit the turn at the same time. And look at the Winston Eagle flying. So is the Budweiser. Rough water. And once again, it's a side-by-side battle with Budweiser coming out on top of the corner number 4 to come down and complete lap number 1. Oh!
This Budweiser getting very loose, but you can see neither driver, Mark Tate on the inside to the right of your screen of the Winston Eagle, or the Miss Budweiser driver, Scott Pierce. Neither one of them taking their foot out of the power at this point. They're going to ride them like bucking broncos if they have to. Winston Eagle took the turn, took the inside groove. It's a little bit of an advantage to be on the inside if you can keep your speed up. Obviously, the Winston Eagle was capable of doing that. Scotty Pierce now riding at second in the Miss Budweiser. Mark Tate cannot let up one iota.
No, he cannot. It's been this way all year long between the Winston Eagle and Mark Tate and Scott Pierce in Miss Budweiser as they come down to complete another lap, averaging close to 140 miles an hour.
Still loose on the inside. The Winston Eagle in the far background. You can see the American Spirit Mark Evans boat coming around the turn. That boat won on the eastern swing of the circuit. So Mark has a very competitive boat, and he may move up into the middle of this. But still, Mark Tate holding that inside groove. Again, Mark was able to take advantage of the inside, this time from lane 1. As you remember, earlier today, he started in lane 3 and still had the Miss Budweiser on the outside of him and was able to set up this same scenario. So Mark Tate really has control of that boat, doing a beautiful job in the Winston Eagle.
Mark Tate has increased his lead right now. The Budweiser crew may have some balancing problems. That boat was being repaired all week since they had a problem at Tri-Cities, Washington, when these two lead boats collided for the second time in 1991.
No problem of collision out here now unless one of them either speeds up a tremendous amount or the other one slows down. Scott Pierce looks now like he's going to settle. Bernie Little, obviously, the wheels are turning inside of that mind now as he tries to figure, do they need to rebalance the Miss Budweiser, or do they go with a stronger engine? Just what do they do to catch the Winston Eagle?
This boat right now, if he holds on, the Winston Eagle will cut this boat's High Point Boat Championship team lead down to a mere 200 points going into the final here today.
Again, the third place boat is the red, white, and blue boat with the stars and stripes on it, known as American Spirit, driven by Mark Evans. And as we told you earlier, that boat has won one of these races earlier this year, a championship heat. It is very capable of moving up, but again, you'd have to think that they probably are just going to save the equipment, but they may not have a choice, because there you can see George Woods Jr. in the Super Range Golf coming up on the outside, back to the second place boat. the Miss Budweiser, Scott Pierce, and he has settled back, and now you can see the leader is passing up one of the slower boats on the inside. This is pretty good racing out here, and again, the leader has not taken his foot off of the main pedal yet.
And I'll tell you one thing, as this boat will wait the checkered flag and win his second consecutive heat victory here today, the Miss Budweiser crew has probably told Scott Pierce, sit in second, qualify for the final, let's try to get him in the winner-take-all final as the checker flag does fall on the Winston Eagle with Mark Tate.
Mark Tate very happy, I'm sure, his second win out here today. And you can see the high fives being passed around on the owner's tower for the Winston Eagle with Steve Woomer and his crew.
And here's the way they finished: Winston Eagle, Budweiser, Pepsi American Spirit, Old Boy Alberto Park, Edge, Hunan Harbor, and the Super Range Golf did not finish.
Well, Mark, I got to say, you do go boat racing.
Well, the Winston Eagle crew.
It wasn't very fast, but listen, this is just like old times, believe me. It was great.
Hey, wait a minute, 120, that would get you in the field.
Oh, yeah, but you got to do more than that now, boy, believe me.
Now let's go back to more action on this fifth stop of the Eagle Snacks Hydro Plane Series. Old Boy Alberta Beef Jerky in lane 1, Kellogg's Frozen Flakes lane 2, Jackpot Food Mart, Misco Bowling. On the outside, Hyperloops T+. The Miss Rock has not started.
There's the green flag, and we've got a start at Heat 2B here on Lake Washington in the Rainier Cup. And it looks like it's going to be a tight battle coming down. The turbine boat's trying to move out in front if they can. And it's going to again be the piston-powered boat. It's the Old Boy Alberto, Mitch Evans driving that boat. He has got it in the lead. The two turbine boats trying to catch him on the outside. Look at as they battle and almost hit together down in the corner. In the middle, it is the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, and now in the lead, the U2 Hyperloops T+, Stephen David out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, driving the boat.
A pretty good shot there as the boats almost changed lanes and came together, but no infraction. As we look at our left, it is Steve David in the Hilton Hyperloop T+, taking over first place, coming down to complete lap number 1. On the inside is the Old Boy Alberta Beef Jerky with Mitch Evans. And now the lead is extended, but look at this camera angle. Looks closer than it really is, but on the inside, Mitch Evans, he's not going to give up.
One thing about Mitch Evans' boat, it looks extremely heavy, and it really is heavy, so when it got light like that down there, it literally started to fly like a kite. You start to understand the dynamics of this thing. They get too much air under these boats, heavy or not, and some of them are upwards of 8,000 pounds. They lift right out of the water and start flying. Mitch Evans got off the pedal, got it back down a little bit. He really was putting up quite a battle with the lead boat, which is this one, Stephen David in the Hyperloops T+. Stephen doing a good job, very steady drive for that boat. Now he got just a hair loose, but they can actually tick-tock back and forth, tiptoe between the two sponsons, and that's fine. But when they fly high and start to lose the horizon over the front of the boat, then they've got a problem.
This is stop number 5 on the Eagle Snacks Hydro Plane Series with 2 more to go, San Diego and Honolulu, Hawaii. And in Honolulu, we're going to have that dual shootout between the top 3 point getters for top cash prize on the day before the race. And it's a 3-lap. You go right to the wall with that foot. I'll tell you right now, that's going to be exciting, that dual shootout.
It's just another feature that's been added onto the Unlimited circuit that really has caused a lot of talk and a lot of excitement. This gentleman right now is going to be the talk of the pitch for the next few minutes, that's for sure. Stephen David really had to fight to get out into the lead. He did off of turn number 1. Once he got the lead, he took it clean, and he's been holding it right through the race. He's coming around the final turns now as he looks up to the top of the starting tower to see if he gets the checkered flag. The only reason he wouldn't get it is because possibly of some sort of a course infraction, but in this case it looks clean. Second place is Mike Hansen in the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
Mitch Evans and Old Boy Alberto Beef Jerky has broken down. We're looking at our leader, who finished second the last time out. With these points, he will qualify for today's final in the Rainier Cup.
So Hyperloop T+, a great story. You saw the story about Jim Harvey and his 25 years in racing, and you met the young driver of this boat, Stephen David, and you heard him say a lot of good things about the crew. That crew deserves a win in the minds of everybody that's here today. They've done a terrific job out here. This is the checkered flag lap for the lead boat. Second place, as we said earlier, still fighting to hold up in there is the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. Mike already has a win in that boat. so Mike Hansen really will be happy to sit back in second.
Jerry Hopp and Misco Bowling did not finish. He's dead on the water also. Only 3 boats running. Hilton Hyperloop T Plus, Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, which we're looking at right now, and the Jackpot Food Mart.
Stephen David in the Hyperloops T Plus will finish out with the checkered flag. There it is. He takes the win. He gets set for the final. There you see the rest of the finishers as the Oh Boy Alberto is towed in the background. Jim?
Yeah, a couple of smiling guys down here, a little bit different. Now you've made the final.
Oh, let me tell you, Jim Harvey and this crew and Hilton's Hyperloop T Plus, they just put it all together. When I got in the cockpit, Jim said, let's win this one so we know what's going to happen in the final. And strapped me in extra tight and bolted the pedal to the floor, and I just had to drive that way.
Jim, you were saying prior to his returning to the dock that, gee, we did it from the outside.
Yeah, that's a pretty good advantage for the T Plus. That the outside is the worst place to be, and we had the worst gear ratio and propeller combination, which means we had to work harder than the other 2 boats, and we did it. So that's quite an accomplishment.
There may be a hole, as you can see, in the Oh Boy Alberto Beef Jerky boat as they try to lift it out of the water. We'll be back with more action in the championship heat in just a moment.
Technology has advanced. Another performance corner now as we take a look at inside hydroplane racing.
Since 1955, when Slow Motion 5 did a complete 360-degree flip right here in Seattle, designers have become increasingly aware of the importance of aerodynamics to hydroplane performance, stability, and control. The problem in the past has been to predict how a new design might perform. Generally, it was a cut, build, and try procedure, risky, and potentially very expensive. Today, designers are able to use aerospace design tools, such as a wind tunnel. This 1/8 scale model of the Miss Budweiser was tested in a wind tunnel to help determine how the shape of the tail, the canard, the sponsons, and the bottom will affect the boat prior to its actually being built. A lot has been accomplished. We've learned about the rounding between the canard and the pod, the rounding of the sponsons to help improve stability and safety, and the shape of the canard for control. We learned a lot about the bottom of the boat as well. We can't show you the bottom of the Miss Budweiser, but we can show you the model. The shape here of the bottom was developed in the wind tunnel and creates significantly to how the boat performs. All this was done prior to construction, contribute to increased speeds and safety.
It takes hundreds of volunteers, of course, and some paid personnel. And the executive director of Seafair is Bob Goldberg, who's been here for the past several years. Now, Bob, I see that Seafair is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and there's more responsibilities.
Well, we have about 60 events, and it takes literally thousands of volunteers to pull this thing off, Jim.
When you had your parade the other night, that was one of the most successful parades I've ever seen. Over 400,000 people attended.
It was crazy. It was great. It was a tremendous salute to all the troops that came home from the Middle East, and Seattle was ready to rock and roll, and that they did.
Great history of unlimited hydroplane racing here on Lake Washington, and it's a great race site. How many do you think are here today?
Well, I would say there's definitely in the hundreds of thousands, and when you look at in the hills and you look at the people who are in the air and all that, it's who knows.
It's a year-round job for you, though.
Absolutely. We have 10 people to work on this year-round. It's a big thing in Seattle. This is Seattle's event.
And it has been for years.
Yes.
Now, when the race is over, tomorrow, it starts all over again.
You bet. I'll start tomorrow morning with our volunteers and our staff, and we'll do a critique and get going again. That's what it's all about.
And this is what it's all about when the bottom line is set. It is the final heat. The Rainier Cup is on the line. There are the boats coming down. Let's see the field. In lane 1, it's the U6 Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. The driver is Mike Hansen. In lane number 2, the U10 Winston Eagle with Mark Tate aboard. In lane number 3 is the winner of the last chance race, Super Range Golf, George Woods Jr. Lane 4 is Hyperloops T+, Stephen David, the driver. Lane 5 is the Pepsi American Spirit, Mark Evans. And lane 6, the U12 Miss Budweiser, the trailer boat, will be the U3 Oh Boy Alberto Beef Jerky. He came in second in the last chance heat. Coming down, they look lined up. It's going to be a good call by the judges' stand to determine if that green flag will fly. It looks like the Miss Budweiser's already starting the position. They're underway now, and look at that jam into turn number 1. It looks like American Spirit had to go way through a rooster tail to the outside. Meanwhile, your lead boats are battling side by side. On the inside to the right of your screen, it was the Winston Eagle. Then it was in the middle, George Woods Jr. in the Super Range Golf, and the leader right now is Miss Budweiser, Scott Pierce, and the way that boat is riding, it'll be interesting to see if indeed the rebalancing worked on it. Right from the moment, he is being pushed hard on the inside by Mark Tate. Mark Tate will try to take it coming out of the turn.
And Mark Tate does take it, but look at the Budweiser come back on. Scott Pierce is putting that pedal to the metal, as they say.
This little device right here saved my wife's life last night. I'll tell you how. She was walking from her office to her parking spot right over here at night. She was working late, and she noticed this guy hanging out right over there. And he started following her to her car. She didn't recognize him, never seen him before in the office park here, and she was very nervous. So when she was walking to her car, she took out this little device. It's called the Original Defense Personal Siren, and it's been proven to scare away attackers, and it's recommended by police. So I'll tell you what she did. She was walking from her office to her car, and when she noticed this guy following her, she took out the alarm, which was attached to her keys, so it's very easy to access, and she pulled the pin like this. And it emits an extremely loud decibel sound that can be heard up to a mile away. And this bright strobe at night can blind you for up to a few minutes. It's very bright. So she turned around and basically scared the guy away. He went off, took off that way. She called the police.
They'll come down. This will be a fast lap. I can assure you, 138.260 mile an hour for the Budweiser, 137.068 for Winston Eagle. That quick.
It's amazing to notice that at that speed, these boats seem to have settled down on the water a little bit, both of them holding very tight. Now, George Woods Jr. was right up in between those two boats. He has dropped off the pace a little bit back to third place. Still your leader and setting a blistering pace out here. Scott Pierce in the Miss Budweiser. It looks like Winston Eagle has eased up a little bit. Now, he's got to be careful because if the Miss Budweiser gets enough room out front, he'll be able to cut back in and grab that inner lane. He's got to have at least 5 boat lanes between himself and the second place boat.
Scott Pierce has taken the Miss Budweiser up 8 miles an hour from 138 to 146. The Winston Eagle has increased its speed by 1 mile an hour, so the Budweiser is now starting to outdistance the second place boat.
They must have worked hard on the balance of it because the Miss Budweiser is holding very strong on the water. You can see now the Winston Eagle has been forced to change lanes and is riding in the wake, if you will, of the Miss Budweiser. He's got to be careful, though. He's not in the rooster tail. He knows he's got to stay on either side of that rooster tail. You cannot get in it because the boat will think it's solid water and actually try to ride right up on it.
In this final heat, it's 400 points for first, 300 for second, 225 for third as they go to the high points in the final heat. It's a 200-point lead for the Miss Budweiser for the Eagle Sachs Hydroplane Championship Series lead. And if he can maintain this position, he'd go into the San Diego race 300 points ahead.
There's a good shot of the turn, and you can see the distance between the Miss Budweiser in first place and the Winston Eagle in second. And also you can see in that aerial George Woods Jr. in the Super Range Golf back in third place. He's about even distance as the Miss Budweiser is from the Winston Eagle. So it's a very even race all the way around. Still early in the race. We're coming up at the completion of lap number 3. Miss Budweiser has been in control since right off the first turn.
Lauren Sawyer, crew member of the Budweiser, has the earphones on. He has told Scott Pierce of his distance lead on the second place boat. So Scott has slowed the Miss Budweiser on this lap down 5 miles an hour at about 141.
We must point out again that we are not talking about bank turns. You can see as the boat comes through the turn, it is flat water. It actually sets up like a dirt racer. It skids around and then they power out. It looks like Winston Eagle has started to lift up a little bit more, and now Mark Tate is on the charge again. He's going to try to close him down. He may have been playing possum back there, just laying in wait to try to catch Scott Pierce when he wasn't looking.
We're intercepting some radio signals from the URC. The Miss Budweiser is having a problem at the rear end. He's getting a vibration. This is allowing the Winston Eagle to come up. Now let me show you. This lap, 133.8 for the Budweiser. The Winston Eagle, 137.
And
He's got a challenge.
He's going to even it up. He's coming up on the outside, and you can see them cheering the boats on down in the pit area. And just as the checkered flag flies, Miss Budweiser takes it by a nose. So Scott Pierce just does take it. But look at the battle now for third place. The American Spirit on the inside takes it from George Woods in Super Golf. We'll be back with the winner in just a moment.
Mobile games are going big with Google Play Games. Battle it out with Free Fire Max on a larger PC screen. Download and play today with Google Play Games.
The Miss Budweiser, with 2 broken blades on the propeller, managed to hang on to beat the Winston Eagle here today. If you want the inside facts of unlimited hydroplane racing, then write to the Unlimited Racing Commission for the media guide at 414 Pontius Avenue North, Suite C, Seattle, Washington, 98109. Let's go to Dick Crippen. Dick?
Well, Scotty, I got to tell you, a little bit emotional on that one, huh? Well, this just means so much. To be the Budweiser driver was a dream come true, and the second biggest dream of my life is to win my hometown boat race. And my crew did an excellent job. As you know, we had a real problem handling in the first 2 heats, and I said, fellas, let's just put it in the water. And we got the best engines in the business. Let's let them do the job. And the remarkable thing is the propeller was broken the last 2 laps. We probably got a nub back there, but it was enough to get it done.
Bernie, you were not particularly happy when 6 came up on the draw, but this kid did it.
Well, yeah, he did. He probably did the best job I've ever seen him do driving the Miss Budweiser. To come out in lane 6 and take him down, that's really something. And I want to tell you publicly and all of our fans that, Scotty, you did a fantastic job, and we're glad to have you in the seat of the Miss Budweiser.
Thank you. I sure love it here.
And there's a look at our Eagle Stack's high point standings through the first 5 races, with Miss Budweiser holding a 300-point lead with 2 races left.
Well, this race is now history, Dick Crippen, and we did not have a demolition derby, though some of the boats were injured, especially the winning boat.
Yeah, that's true, and I think it's amazing that he was even able to drive that boat with a broken propeller. Apparently, one of the blades came off. That causes a tremendous vibration. Very hard to turn the boat with that kind of problem underneath. I just was amazed that he was able to get through and win it, but he did. That's what counts. There were some other damaged boats, but nothing like we've had in the past couple of weeks. So I think it's just really all go from here, and I think once again, the flag start proved that it is a good way to do it. They were not happy with the 6th lane, but they proved they could still win out of it, and I think that'll make a lot of difference in their thinking.
Thank you, Dick. On behalf of Doug Ford, Dick Crippen, I'm Jim Hendrick from Seattle. So long.
Sports Express is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers with that clean, crisp, cold taste. Nothing beats a Bud. And by Eagle Snacks, Eagle Tortilla Chips. You're gonna love them.
This has been a production of